Hello and welcome to episode 29 of SirSmuggler's Let's Play. I'm going to continue with the signaling system. Signaling. That's a difficult word. Anyway, first off I'm going to make a receiver circuit because I want to make yet another little tool. That we are going to use. Let's see. Receiver circuit, a redstone torch and a couple of buttons. Signal tuner. Because I want to try another little thing that I set up here somewhere. Distant signal. It's almost identical to the block signal, only it has a receiver circuit instead of the controller circuit. So, and also I got another world anchor that I'm gonna plant because I might actually need two of these, but we'll see. The block signals, when you log into your world, they try to connect as they were before you logged out, but if only one of them is in chunk that is loaded and the other one is unloaded, they're going to try for a few minutes to reconnect, but will fail of course, and then the connection will be broken, and that's what has happened to my signals. So yeah. And these world anchors are damn expensive. I'm running out of gold. I'm always running out of gold. So I'm gonna hold it there and let's see. I'm going to try and find a sweet spot for this world anchor and I'll be back. Okay, so I planted my world anchor so that this guy is covered and as far away along this stretch as it would cover. Of course it doesn't reach all the way to the other signal, not even close, but well, it's gonna have to do for now. So I'm gonna have to use this signal tuner or whatever it was called, signal block surveyor, to link those two up again. Of course I need to get the cart moving before I get in. Okay, maybe I was wrong, because it was green and now it's flashing again. I'm confused now. That guy's flashing red. Successfully defined signal block. Well, okay, I don't know. Should be working now anyway. Now we're gonna try this signal tuner. To link up this guy with something I got down here. Now this is just for fun, basically. You'll see. Like so. So this is the distant block distant signal that I showed you before, and I have now linked that with the signal in this end of the rail. So this one will just display the same color that signal is displaying. So I can now from here see if we got carts incoming or going on that track. So that's kind of cool. Not that it's very functional, but it's cool. So let's just put something in our chest here, and it's gonna take a while for that to reach the cart, but once it does we should see this light changing. So I'm gonna cut the camera for a while and I'll be back if anything changes. And now it turned yellow, which means the storage cart has now picked up some items and is moving away from here. And when it turns green we know it has reached that little bend near the quarry and left the signaling block that we have set up. Like that. And then after a while, of course, it's gonna turn red once the cart has reached the final destination, unloaded, and is returning. So I think that's kind of cool. So I can keep tabs on what my cart is doing while I'm down here. And I just wanted to show you guys that it really is turning red once the cart is returning. So that functions. And yeah, but let's get on with something useful we can do with this to avoid collisions on the track. I'm just gonna tend to my bees a little bit, and then I'll start recording again when I'm ready to start working with the signals. Okay, so I'm gonna craft up a new kind of track. Previously I've used the boarding track, and now I'm gonna use a holding track. That's basically the same thing, only the holding track can send off carts in any direction, while the boarding track only sends it in one direction. So let's see, did I bring any redstone? I hope so, yeah. So a cart that arrives at a boarding track will halt there, and of course I forgot the rail bed. And once the holding track receives a redstone signal, it will send the cart off again in the same direction it was traveling when it reached the track. So that's what we want to do now. I don't remember how. I think it was like this. Holding track, yep. And there was something else, yes. I should have some iron here as well. A receiver circuit, redstone, and iron. And we get the signal receiver box. So I'm gonna head back to the bee house and we'll see what we can do with this stuff. So here we are again, and let's see what we want to do here. Well, if I were to set up like right here, Well, I would prefer to have it a little further back, but if I put the holding rail right here and there, then I can use the same controller box, I believe. So that might be a good idea, actually. Let's try it. And this little thing goes on there. And I'm just going to go sleep and I'll continue. Okay, so I'm going to use this signal tuner and I will, let's see, no, so if I use this and pair it with this, you see it's going to show the same signal as this one. And if I open up the interface here, you can see that it will emit a redstone signal on aspect green, and that is the way we want it actually. So as long as it's green, it's going to allow any cart to go through, but if there's already a cart on this track, it's going to hold any other carts. However, we could let it run on yellow as well, because yellow is when something is traveling away from this signal, and that shouldn't be a problem. So let's do like that. Emit redstone signal on both green and yellow. And of course we can try it with this cart here. That didn't work very well. What? Holding track. I thought that was how the holding track worked. I'm gonna have to investigate this a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate how the holding track here is, what the thought behind it is. When a cart enters the holding track, when it's not powered, it's going to hold the cart right there, and when it receives a redstone signal, it's going to send the cart along the same path that it's in the same direction it was traveling. And if I do that again from the other direction, it stops there, and when it gets a signal, it goes away in the same direction. So works fine that way. The problem though, there's currently a bug in the current version I'm using of RailCraft with the holding track that makes it send off carts when the track is powered. When the cart arrives, it's going to send the cart away the same direction that it last sent the cart, not the direction the cart is traveling. So that makes it not so useful for me right now. But until I get a new version of RailCraft where this hopefully is fixed, I'm going to try a little workaround. So I'm going to put up switch tracks to make sure that incoming carts will be switched around the holding track. somewhere. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna set it up exactly, but I'll get to that. Anyway, the thought there is that any incoming carts will disregard the holding track completely and just go straight to its destination, and only outgoing carts are gonna be halted in case we have a red signal. So yeah, that should work for now. So I'm just gonna go get a few more tracks that I need, some switch tracks and standard tracks, and I'll be right back. Oh, and another thing that I'm going to do, I previously used the signal receiver box to receive the signal from this guy and turn it into a redstone signal. Well, it turns out, if I understand things correctly, that you can only pair this signal with one receiver. So when I connected it up to the signal receiver box, it lost the connection to the distant signal down in my basement at the bee house. So I'm going to have to craft yet another box, a signal controller box, and link this signal with the controller box, and then the controller box can be linked to different receiver boxes, I believe. I'm gonna have to try that out a little, and I'll explain it once I get the full grasp of how it works. So I'm gonna go get a few more things and I'll be right back. I decided to set up auto crafting systems for the signal controller box and signal receiver box. Now the receiver box is the one that is going to receive the signal from the block signal, and if you place a controller box next to a receiver box, the controller box will receive the aspect signal from the receiver box, and you can then link up the controller box with any other receiver, such as a switch motor or a distant signal. So I'm gonna need the one receiver box that I already have and two controller boxes. I think that's what I'm gonna need, we'll see. So let's just craft, or rather order up a couple of those, and we'll see how it goes. And I got some rails there, great. So let's see here, where are they? Oh, as usual I forget to import the recipe. Won't work without that, of course. Now then, receiver, that's the one I have already, so we want two controller boxes. Bunch of stuff flowing around. And here comes our boxes. I think it's really funny how teeny tiny little they are when they're lying on the floor like that. So I'll just head out back to where I want to place these things, and we'll just take it from there. Okay, so I have built some stuff here, and I'm gonna explain how it works. I'm just gonna get my cart, so I got something to demonstrate with. And well, it is just a temporary workaround until the holding rail gets fixed, and because I'm not happy with the design, it looks quite horrible. Anyway, we're gonna need our tuner tool. So I put up these switch tracks and this little loop here, so any cart that comes in from this direction is going to be diverted around the holding track, while if the cart is coming from this direction it will get stuck on the holding track, as it should be. So we don't have any problem with the holding track sending carts the wrong way, because now it's gonna send them only in one way every time. Anyway, this controller, no, this is a receiver box. Let's take this all the way here. So we link up this signal with a receiver box, which I got here, and it's green, so I thought these guys would also be green. Maybe I need to just replace them. No. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is how it should be. It's only that they don't display the signal until you have linked them up with a receiver, like so. So in order for one block signal, that's the guy that displays the light there, to control several different things, you need to have a receiver and then link that receiver to several controllers. Then you link the controller with this tool here to the appropriate receiver. So up here we have a receiver box. And I'm going to tell that one to emit redstone signal on green and yellow. So this holding track will be activated when we have green or yellow signal, but if we have red, it's going to hold any cards. So, and then I need to do the same setup on this side here for the storage cart, and then we should be up and running. And the third controller box there is for the distant signal down at the bee house. So I'm gonna set up the same situation here on this other side, and I'll be right back, and then we'll try it out. Okay, so I finally got everything ready here, and well, I'm gonna go put some stuff in the export chest, and we'll see what happens. So let's head back down. We can always use a bit more phosphor, like so. It's gonna be a while, of course, before it reaches the loading tower. We could actually grab this one and manually place it right there. So now we have a red, ouch, and there's the cart, and it stops as it should. Very nice. Let's see now if I can manage to, from a safe place, Knock this off. And it's allowed to continue. So if we now wait a minute, we're gonna see those boxes there are gonna tell us what the signal is currently. So it turns green as it leaves the monitored piece of track here. And if I am ready here to get to the cart, I suppose we could, no, I can't see it. So we're gonna change when we see this one turn red. We're gonna get in the cart and hop in and see what happens. Red, let's take off, and we should be halted right here. And we're just gonna have to wait until the storage cart has returned. Here he comes. And when he leaves, it's clear for us to continue on. And I just noticed a little problem there, but we'll get back to that. So that part seems to be working now, with my little workaround for the holding track. So anyway, stop this. And of course we're gonna need to do something in the other end so that a little track to the side here to have a holding thingy in this end, because you need to have the same check when you come from this direction, of course. And of course on the other stretches of rails, because these signals can only monitor a straight piece of rail. Once you have a turn in it, you're going to have to set up a new signal block for the next straight. But let's just real quick check out the other problem that I spotted. See if it is a problem. Yeah, it looks kind of... So I'm just gonna break there, and as you can see, our cart got stuck here. Rather odd actually, it's like right on the booster there. Anyway, since I put in this turn here, it lost a lot of momentum, and so it didn't have quite the power to reach the next booster. So I'm gonna have to put in yet another booster somewhere here. But I think we are done for this episode, because, well, it seems like a good point to stop. We got this system to working, we just need to do this little tweak with the booster here. So I'm kind of pleased with that, even though it doesn't look very good. It's just too much stuff when it should be so simple. So anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and I hope I see you next time. Until then, bye bye!